Hello, I'm Stephen Hill for JustMyPicks.com, and I'm bringing you a special NFL up-to-date minute for the week that's coming up and the week that's passed for the NFL news. A lot of news we have to get to, so I'm going to be quick with this one. Basically, coming up, we have a lot of teams that's making salary cap space. We've seen teams like the Steelers, where Big Ben Roethlisberger's been negotiating his contract down, and a lot of the Cowboys have basically restructured their deals to where it's more cap friendly. But then you also look at some of the cap casualties. We look at the Atlanta Falcons losing Michael Turner, Dante Robinson, and losing John Abraham. That is going to be a big problem for the Falcons. I just don't think that they'll be able to replace that kind of production. Even though they weren't all full-time players, you have to look at the Falcons. When you do something like that, you have to ask yourself, can you really, at the time, can you get those same type of pieces back and via trade, via free agency, via the draft? You really have to look at things like that. We also saw Joe Flacco become the highest paid quarterback in history. I think it's a little bit much, but the Ravens really have to count their blessings, because it could be worse. They could not have Flacco on the team and not have any of those defensive players either. So moving forward, I think the Ravens are in good hands with Joe Flacco. I think that this wasn't just a flash in the pan for the Super Bowl. I think he's a solid quarterback. You have to look at his record moving forward as being the only quarterback to make the playoffs his first 5 seasons in the league. So it speaks a lot about him. We also saw the Denver Broncos franchise tag Pro Bowl lineman Ryan Clady. That gives Peyton Manning a little sleep at night, because he is one of the best in the game right now. And there's a premium on offensive linemen. There's not really that many out there good that can protect a Peyton Manning or Drew Brees or Tom Brady. So when you have one, you want to keep him in-house and pay him and keep him happy. We also saw Alex Smith get traded to the Chiefs. This is going to be a crazy move, because if I was the 49ers, I would have kept Alex Smith as an insurance policy to Colin Kaepernick, because even though he plays great football, Kaepernick does, it only takes one hit to be to the backup, to where you're injured and you can't play. So I think the Chiefs got a steal for only a second-round pick for Alex Smith. I think that he should have been a starter for the 49ers. I know that Kaepernick gave them a lot of athletic ability, but you have to realize, Alex Smith, at the time he was injured, he was on a hot streak. He was very efficient. He was winning football games for that team. We also saw Milton get tagged by the Bears with the franchise tag. That is a great pickup, because it's a premium on defensive linemen also. And just moving forward, we have Randy Moss wishing the 49ers luck on their future endeavors. That means 2 things. That means he won't be with the team next year, or he's going to retire. It's either he's playing with one of the other NFL teams, or he won't be there next year. But in the last story of the week, it's 2 actually. The Jets. I'm dazed and confused about this one, but the Jets are working out David Garrard and possibly signing David Garrard, which is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. David Garrard is going on 35 years old, coming off knee surgery. He was cut by the Dolphins last preseason. So I just don't know what the Jets are doing right now. I think they're stealing headlines again, and you don't win anything by stealing headlines except the back page newspaper. And also Darrelle Revis and that whole contract situation. I think that the Jets are making a big mistake by alienating Darrelle Revis. He is one of the best in the game. Even though he didn't have a good season last year because of an injury, you have to look at what you have in-house. Even though they played well and they were solid in what they did without Revis last season, let's be honest, he is the shutdown corner in the NFL. You don't throw it Revis aside. If you do, he usually makes you pay. So this is going to be a wild ride for the Jets and Darrelle Revis. I think that it's going to get down to the nasty negotiation, like it's done several times before. But you also have to realize, can they take that cap hit with trading Revis? I know at the Combine they were speculating him being traded and all these other things, but if I'm the Jets, I keep Darrelle Revis. I keep that defense at least intact. If you can't add offensive pieces via free agency, try it in the draft. Do whatever you have to do, but also keep that in-house. But you can check me out. This has been an NFL Minute. You can check me out at JustMyPicks.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at JustMyPicksTV. You can also check me out on here, YouTube / JustMyPicksTV. Thank you very much for subscribing, and please comment.